Thy kingdom come. What does that mean? Thy will be done. Not thy will be recited. Not thy will be rehearsed. Not thy will be admired. Not thy will be converted into placards. The will of God is better. The will of God. And the person who is saying the will of God is in rebellion. Thy will be done. That's kingdom. When the will of God is being done on a daily basis, when we are acting on the will of God, when we are implementing the will of God, when we are executing it, you see us wake up from morning till we sleep. We are addicts of his will. He says, my food is to do the will of him. That's my nourishment. The more I do the will, the more hot the fire. I do the will. Thy will be done on earth. Which part of earth should the will be done? Is it just in church? Is church the only earth there is? No. Everywhere there is earth, God's will must reign. Everywhere there is earth, God's will must reign. So the big question then is, what's the hold of God on my life? The grip of God on my life. How strong is it? Is the grip strong? Or how strong is his hold on you? On your thinking? What acres of your mind is totally under the government of God? If we converted your mind into acreage, how much of this is under the cultivation of God? If your mind were a farm, how much of it is weed? And how much of it is intentional cultivation? Jesus planted these thoughts. Opportunity has opened, so I'm stepping in. There's a big door, that door will be your last door. Yes. Because you're not ready. Under the right pressure, you will say there is no God. Under the right pressure, you will join others to curse God, like the counsel Job's wife gave him. Curse God and die. Not curse God and let us die. Because it is your exit that gives me new opportunity to join myself to another. Curse God and die. You are delaying. You are wasting my life. Curse God and die. I thought the two shall be one. You do the cursing and let all of us do the dying. But he says, no. You do the cursing and you do the dying so we can be free to look at the options on the market. How strong is God's hold over your mind? How strong is God's hold over your life? How strong is the hold of Jesus over your life? How strong? That's why he's giving us his word. Work it into your system. Work it. Work it into the way you are thinking. Work it. Work it. Sometimes you are crying, but you are working it. So, because Jesus himself calls it the narrow path. You will be crying, and you are working his will. You are hungry, but you are because if you go out of the will, you can have free food. But your body must be offered as a living sacrifice. And so the will of God will say no to that. But no to that may not necessarily means here is food. No to that. No to that first. You stay in that no until the food comes. And sometimes it may not come. But if it is his will, your will be done and not mine. If it is his will, even if it means dying on the cross, your will be done. If only it is his will. I was having a conversation with him yesterday night. Religion is the greatest enemy. It makes you embrace a form of godliness and not submitting to the authority of God over your life. What will make you stop? What will make you stop? If you knew God didn't want it, will you touch it or you will not touch it? If you knew God said no, even though the price tag is high, will you still take it and come and tell God, I'm sorry? If you knew This was not the way, but it is paved with gold. Will you walk on it? Not my will, but your will be done. It is people like this who can influence culture. Daniel was like that. Joseph was like that. Shadrach, Meshach, Abednego, they were like that. That's why they could influence Babylon. They didn't have to overthrow Nebuchadnezzar. They were in there like a leaven. They were in there like salt, working their way into the fabric of that society. Until one day Nebuchadnezzar declared, the God of Daniel, let him be God. My goodness. We have many of these people in politics and we can't taste the salt. And the thing is, we don't need as much salt as we have soup. It should be small salt to plenty soup. That if our effectiveness has the right index. That if the concentration is correct, if the intensity is correct, God can plant a Daniel in the Jubilee house and it will overturn the whole system. But when all the Daniels have lost their saltiness, wherewith shall they be salted? They are thrown out there and men walk on them. We're all chasing the same thing. I don't know whether you truly want the will of God or you just want to tick the box. Me too, I'm interested in the will of God. Do you really want it? Are you sure you really want his will for you? Do you know what that means? God's will can turn you around and face you in another direction. All the plans you made can just be deleted. Like, are you sure you really want his will? Or you want the will you are in control of? Or you want to be at the disposal of God? Do you know what that means? That I'm at God's disposal. Hey, it's not grammar. Practical living in reference to God. Living in recourse to God.